You know what's strange? We treat high IQ like it should look loud. Like the smartest person in the room must be the one correcting everyone, winning arguments, using bigger words, and looking bored at normal conversation. But in real life, intelligent people often look ordinary. They pause too long. They ask weird questions. They notice tiny patterns nobody else catches. They doubt themselves when other people are bragging. Stay with me because what I'm about to tell you will change how you seek intelligence and maybe how you see yourself. You're sitting somewhere normal, maybe your bedroom, maybe a quiet corner of a cafe, maybe the back seat of a car while rain taps against the window. Someone is talking, but your mind is already 3 layers beneath the conversation. They said one sentence, and now you're thinking about the hidden assumption inside it, the exception nobody mentioned, the pattern it reminds you of, and the memory it unlocked from 5 years ago. You nod so you don't seem rude, but inside, 20 tabs are open and all of them are some connected. Then someone says, you think too much, and you laugh because they're not wrong. But they're also not seeing the whole thing. Sometimes, overthinking is pattern recognition with nowhere to land. The first habit is that intelligent people don't just collect answers, they collect better questions. Psychologists call this need for cognition, which means a person enjoys effortful thinking instead of avoiding it. John Cacioppo and Richard Petty developed research around this in the 1980s, showing that some people are naturally drawn to complex problems, nuance, and mental effort, not because it makes them look smart because their brain finds it rewarding. This is why you might hear a simple claim and instantly ask, but compared to what, or what would make that false? That's not you being difficult. That's your mind refusing to swallow an idea without chewing it first. Habit 1 is questioning assumptions. Habit 2 is enjoying complexity instead of rushing to simplify it. And habit 3 is being comfortable saying, I don't know yet. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The average mind often wants closure because closure feels safe. But high IQ minds can tolerate ambiguity longer. They can sit in the uncomfortable middle where two things can be partly true. It's like holding a puzzle piece without forcing it into the wrong place. That patience is not indecision, it's cognitive restraint. The second pattern is metacognition, which means thinking about your own thinking. It sounds fancy, but you do it every time you catch yourself and go, wait, am I reacting to the facts or am I reacting to how this made me feel? People with strong metacognitive habits don't just ask, what do I think? They ask, why do I think that? Research by David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999 made this famous in an uncomfortable way. Their studies found that people with weaker skills often overestimate themselves because they don't have enough knowledge to see their own mistakes. Meanwhile, more skilled people are often more aware of what they don't know wild, right? Sometimes intelligence doesn't feel like confidence. It feels like constantly noticing the edge of your map. That creates habits 4 and 5 self correction and intellectual humility. You replay conversations, you update your opinions when better evidence appears. You can be halfway through explaining something and suddenly say, actually, that might not be right. To some people, that looks uncertain. But really, it's your brain doing quality control in real time. High IQ people recalculate, not because they have no beliefs, but because they care whether their beliefs still match reality. The third pattern is called openness to experience. In psychology, openness is one of the big 5 personality traits, and it's linked to curiosity, imagination, aesthetic sensitivity, and a love of ideas. Colin DeYoung and colleagues published research in 2011 showing connections between openness, intellect, and cognitive ability. Simply put, smart minds tend to explore. They don't just want more information, they want different angles. This is where habits 6 and 7 show up, connecting unrelated ideas and following curiosity even when it seems useless. You read about ancient civilizations and suddenly understand something about office politics. You watch a documentary about octopuses and start thinking about alien intelligence. You hear a song and your brain turns it into a theory about memory. To other people, it looks random. But inside your mind, it's a web. And this is why boredom can feel painful. Not cute boredom. Actual mental starvation. A highly active mind needs novelty the way lungs need air. That doesn't mean constant noise, drama, or scrolling. In fact, many highly intelligent people prefer quiet because quiet gives the brain room to combine things. Habit 8 is protecting deep focus. Not just being alone, but being alone with something worth thinking about. Research on attention and working memory helps explain this. Alan Baddeley's model describes working memory as the mental workspace where you hold and manipulate information. When that workspace is constantly interrupted, thinking becomes shallow. So when you guard quiet time, you're not being antisocial, you're protecting the laboratory. But wait, it gets weirder because extremely intelligent people often don't look productive while they're doing their deepest work. They stare, they pace, they take long showers, they walk without music. This connects to incubation, a creativity concept where stepping away from a problem can help the mind solve it in the background. Graham Wallace wrote about stages of creativity in 1926, including preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. That random idea that hits while brushing your teeth? It wasn't random. Your brain was still working after you stopped forcing it. So habit 9 is mental wandering with purpose, and habit 10 is delayed response. High IQ people often don't react instantly because they're running simulations. If I say this, what happens? If that assumption is wrong, what changes? What's the second order effect? From the outside, it can look like silence. From the inside, it's a chessboard. Now, before the comment section explodes, here's the uncomfortable truth. High IQ is not the same as wisdom. It's not the same as kindness, emotional maturity, discipline, or a good life. A sharp mind can still cut the person holding it. For some people, these habits are healthy curiosity. For others, they become hiding. Questioning everything can become avoiding commitment. Deep focus can become isolation. Intellectual humility can turn into chronic self doubt. Mental simulation can turn into anxiety wearing a lab coat. That's the dark layer nobody puts in motivational posters. The same brain that sees 10 possibilities can struggle to choose one. The same mind that notices patterns can invent threats. Healthy intelligence expands your life. Trauma shaped intelligence tries to control life so nothing can surprise you again. One is depth, the other is defense. So the goal isn't to worship intelligence, it's to integrate it. To let your mind be powerful without making it your prison. You're not broken because your brain asks too many questions. You're not annoying because you need the deeper reason. You're not lazy because your best ideas arrive after quiet wandering. You're not arrogant because you care about precision. And you're not too much because simple answers don't satisfy you. You're wired for depth over noise. You're built to notice what sits beneath the obvious. You're someone whose mind doesn't just want to win the conversation. It wants to understand the structure underneath it. And yes, that can feel lonely. But it can also be a gift when you stop using it, only to doubt yourself. Maybe the real sign of a powerful mind isn't how fast it answers, maybe it's how carefully it listens. Maybe it's the ability to hold a question without panicking, to revise a belief without collapsing, to notice a pattern without needing applause for it. Intelligence, its best, is not a spotlight. It's a lantern. It doesn't have to blind everyone in the room. It just helps you see a little farther into the dark. If this hit home, subscribe to the Psyche Code. And if you want to support these deep dives, hit the join button. If this resonated, you'll probably love the next video on why highly intelligent people often feel misunderstood. Click it when you're ready.